Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Come on, start logging in. We need you to log in. Start following. Come on. To everybody.
Good evening. Thank you for logging in on tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Please take a moment to click the share button and invite others to join this broadcast. We have a hot topic tonight, and we want to make sure that we get everyone. This is very informative,
Yes.
and we believe that it would edify your relationship. Well, good evening. God bless you, Evangelist Pearlie. And Cuz, God bless you, Cheryl. We see you tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Now, keep sharing. Start sharing.
Yes, please click the share and invite as many people as you can. This is a very informative broadcast on tonight, and we want to make sure that we're able to share.
We want to share it.
Thank you for joining.
Hey, Pastor Bernice.
God bless you. God bless you.
Hello.
All right. We see you coming in. Please share this broadcast. Please share. Thank you.
Everybody.
Hi, Evangelist Brittany. Thank you for joining tonight.
Hey.
All right. We see you, Sister Ron. Thank
Whoop,
you.
whoop.
Good evening. God bless you. All right. We need you to share this broadcast.
Share it. Bring some other ones on. Let them hear this because it's hot tonight.
Yes. So first of all, we would like to welcome you all to Real Talk with the Reeses of Unified Love Couples Ministry, the place where two hearts meet.
That's right.
Yes.
Hey,
so please.
I'm supposed to say hearts meet.
Okay, you go ahead. The place where
hearts meet.
The place where
two hearts meet. See, I said it right. She messed me up because you know that was my part.
If you have any questions during this broadcast, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat. And remember, we're going to answer every question. If you choose to remain anonymous, you can message me from the Facebook page, and we'll make sure that we'll cover your anonymous questions. So our topic tonight, hush.
Ooh.
Like I said that, hush. Unnecessary chatter, inappropriate responses are a turn off. Ooh. They are a turn off. They're a turn off. Why? Because we don't know when to stop or go on mute.
Right.
So as long as our temperature is rising and our emotions, our anger is high, we're flaring, we're upset, we just keep going on and on, and we don't know when to stop. Hush. Like I said that. Hush. Yes.
Some people don't like when you say hush. Man.
Well, that's the nicer version. Hush.
Instead of shut up.
Hey, say daughter Sierra, we see you. God bless you. Sister Natasha, thank you for joining tonight. God bless you. Yes, so hush, unnecessary chatter, inappropriate responses are a turn off. And when we respond, we know what buttons to push. Yes. We know which insults will hurt the most. And until we get the response we're looking for, we will not quit. So hush.
Yes.
Proverbs 21 and 23. This is the English Standard Version. And it says, whosoever keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps himself out of trouble. Ooh. Yes. So that means that there are repercussions or consequences that we have to face because of our spoken words. Wow. So we've got to be careful what it is that we say. And there's a quote. The author is unknown. We used to have it in our ministry in the back of the church. Our late overseer had it up in the back. And this is what the quote says. Watch your thoughts. They become words. Watch your words. They become actions. Mm-hmm. Watch your actions. They become habits. Wow. Watch your habits. They become your character. Wow. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny.
Wow.
That's deep.
That's really deep because a lot of times, we don't watch our character. We don't watch what we say.
Mm-hmm.
And we're so quick to throw out stuff instead of, really thinking about what you're saying. You don't know who you hurting. You don't know who you could be saying it to. And you could be
Mm-hmm.
hurting that person and don't
Yes.
even know you hurting them. So
Mm-hmm.
we got to be careful, not just in our relationship, but with other people
Mm-hmm.
and how we carry ourselves. We shouldn't be so quick to jump on people. We shouldn't be so quick to want to react to people and be mad with them and like you trying to get back on them. we gotta
Yes.
we gotta be careful how we treat each other and how we treat the one that we are saying that we want to marry, or the one we're getting ready to marry, or our husband or our wife. We gotta treat them better. We
Mm-hmm.
gotta treat other people better and how we handle ourselves.
Yes. So a few of our cousins have joined on. We see you, Inez. God bless you.
God bless.
Sean, God bless you.
Woo!
All right, Phil, we see you tonight. Thank you for logging in. All right. So remember, be careful of our thoughts. They become our words. Because what we think, what we're going to do, speak it.
That's right.
Be careful of our words. They become our actions. So once we speak it out, guess what? Our ears don't grab the hold of it, and we can begin to act on it. Be careful of our actions. They become our habits. When we continue to do things and say things, the way that we live, it becomes habitual. So we're so used to doing it. And then what it becomes, our character, it becomes a part of us. It becomes a part of our DNA because we're carrying out how we're acting and how we're going forth. And then it becomes our destiny.
And you know what else too? We got to be careful of our reactions.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a word I was looking for, and it just slipped my mind. But we got to be careful of our reactions and how we blurt out stuff, and how when we blurt it out, how we treat other people with it. Because even with your spouse, even with the one you married to, you can't talk to the people on the street better than you talk to your husband or your spouse or your wife. You have to treat them, because that's the one you say you love.
Yes.
That's the one you say you want to be with. And if we can't practice that without being married, how are we going to get into a relationship and we can just blurt out anything, and we don't have no kind of substance. We don't have no kind of care for what we say out of our mouths. Because some people, they don't mind that, just blurt it out in front of the pastor. Don't even care, and no kind of respect, no kind of nothing. Just say whatever they want to say and don't understand, that's a man and woman of God that you're saying it to. So be careful how you speak, not just to your husband and wife, but to others.
Yes.
And your husband and wife.
Be mindful.
Be mindful. Even if you're with your fiance, be mindful how you treat the man or the woman. Be mindful how you talk to them.
Yes.
And don't be so quick to anger. Don't be so quick to ready to jump on somebody.
Yes, absolutely. We see you, Kathy. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining. Sharifa, we see you. Thank you so much.
Share.
Yes, Quanti. Good evening. God bless you. Hi, Latanya. Thank you so much for joining tonight. So our episode tonight is Hush.
Hush.
Sometimes we need to check our own self. And we hear ourselves. We know what we saying. We know we just don't went overboard. And sometimes it's like, oh, wait, it's too late to try to retract that now. And I done said it now. And then we follow through all the way to the end, knowing that we are dead wrong, but we don't know how to hush. We don't know how to stop. We don't know how to be quiet. We don't know how to humble ourselves. And look, I can't win every fight. I can't always be the one that's right. I need to sometimes accept responsibility of when I'm wrong and to say I'm wrong.
Ooh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Don't you tell nobody to say that they wrong, because they ain't going to say it. And that's the thing. Even with Christian people, they won't say they wrong. And they know they wrong, but won't say it. Won't
Well, let's
say.
talk about being in a relationship.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Being saved and being in a relationship, and you just don't want to. You like a pit bull, just want until that person gives up and say, you know what, I'm a hush.
Yeah. Hi, Minister Veronica. Good evening. Yes, so we have a hot topic tonight. Hush.
Hush.
Time out. You know, we used to say time out. We playing a game. We say time out, time out. You know, take a breather, take a breath. It ain't that serious. Sometimes we blow things out of proportion and we're all in, all mad, angry, and upset. But we've got to learn how to communicate with the one that we're dating or we're married to. So how do we do this? We talk instead of arguing. We're not speaking to each other any kind of way because we're aggravated or we're frustrated. We have to make sure that we have conversations, that we sit down and talk. It should not be that we cannot talk to each other. I can't talk to you. You can't talk to me. We go a week without talking. Okay, let's talk about dating and we're courting and we're seeing someone. If we're going through drama like this, imagine how it'll be once we are married.
Yes.
And now being married, that drama ain't die. It's going to be the same patterns that we carried over from our relationships. So if you're not in a relationship now, this is good grooming grounds for you to learn how not to be, so that these patterns will not become baggage that you carry over into marriage.
And I don't know why in relationships we're so defensive all the time when the person tells you something and they telling you, hey, I don't like the way you speak to me. You talk to me and now you don't like what I say. You don't like the way. Come on, why are you so defensive?
Hostile.
So that person be saying, you know what? I'm going to just be quiet and let you say what you want to say, and I'm going to just call it a day. Sometimes you got people that don't want to argue. They want to work things out.
Yes.
But if you so always defensive and ready to rah at them, they're going to get to a point where they're going to say, you know what, I'm going to let you rah by yourself.
Yes, so easily offended. Can't say anything without us being upset, our feelings hurt, have an attitude. Now we're angry. I mean, we have to get our feelings off of our shoulders because in order to... Exactly.
Wipe it off.
Exactly. And we know that Proverbs 15:1 says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but harsh words stir up anger.
Yes, it do.
So if my spouse is angry with me, I'm not going to get angry with my spouse because that makes it worse.
Yes.
A gentle, because we feeding off each other anger. You say something to me, I say something back to you. You say something to me, I say something back to you. And it keeps continuing to go on and go on and go on. But when we realize that, hey, wait a minute, a soft baby, I'm sorry. I said it wrong. I did it wrong. Accept my apology. We ain't using foul language. We ain't using abusive language.
We ain't throwing stuff.
Yes. Ephesians 4:29 says, don't use foul or abusive language. Let everything you say be good and helpful so that your words will be an encouragement to those who hear them. So after we argue with our spouse, can they say, hey, you encouraged me? Let's wait. We ain't even married yet. We're in a relationship. Oh, wait. You taught me something by interacting with you. Come on now. All right. We open for questions. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat and we'll make sure that we have some good responses. Yes, hush, mouth, grace. Yes, it takes grace. Yes, Lord. Auntie and Uncle, thank you so much for watching. Deacon Shakes, we see you. Thank you for logging on tonight.
Share.
Yes.
We want y'all to share.
I see you, Rhonda. A lot of times we are not hearing what's being said versus how it is being said.
Correct. Because that's what I'm... Look, it's the way you say it that hurts the most. And if you can say it in a nice way to the one you love, and we're not going to argue. We're not going to be yelling at each other. I'm going to respect you. You respect me. Let's sit down and talk like adults. And I'm talking, come on now. Us black folks sometimes, we ready to You're ready to jump on somebody. But somebody got to have the knowledgeable head and say, you know what? Let's calm down.
Yes.
I want to get your blood pressure up. I don't want to get mine up. We're not going to be going there. Because all they're going to do is set up the enemy to come in and make it worse. So it's best to calm those things down.
Yes.
Calm it down.
And don't do like Minister Veronica say, pouring gas on a lit fire.
Ooh, yes.
All right, Patricia, good evening. God bless you. Sister Nina, God bless you. Uncle, Auntie, we see you. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining in on tonight. So we need to learn how to zip it up, hush. And we're saying it in a polite way. Yes. We can say, shut up, be quiet, hush. Hush. It's not sometimes that serious. Hush. Sit back and think about what's being said. And of course, if we are in a heated argument, we're passing words back and forth to each other. Whether we're married or not married, we go through disagreements. So we've got to make sure how we say what we say, to make sure that, and if we hear that the voices are rising, why can't we say, baby, wait, let's just talk. We don't want to argue. We don't want to fuss, but we're matching. If we match up the tones, then when the other one go higher, the other one going higher. And what we do, we climb it in our tones because we feel that we're being heard when we are louder than the other one.
And when y'all over talking one another.
Yes.
Because that's how the arguments start. When you over talking, you don't let that person finish.
Yes.
You're always jumping in. Don't let them say what they got to say. And you say what you got to say. And y'all come to some kind of agreement, but you don't have to raise your voice.
Right.
She don't have to raise her voice. And you should be able to speak to each other calmly.
Yes.
That's one of the things I think we put in our book about speaking calmly.
Yes.
Speaking in love with one another. Where's that love when you at a disagreement?
Because you love me so much. You was just up on me, hugging and kissing me. Now that you mad at me, you ain't got nothing nice to say to me. You feel like throwing hands. Pastor Katie, God bless you. Thank you for joining. I mean, where's the love? You text me with the hearts and the emojis. Where's the love now? How is it that we let our anger and our emotions take us to places that we shouldn't venture into? How is it that we're so angry and upset that we quickly forget, wait, this is the person that I love. This is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. This is the person that, I've trusted with everything. We forget.
Listen, a lot of times in relationships, somebody want to wear the pants. Somebody want to get the last word. And it shouldn't be that way because y'all are not the enemy to one another.
Yes.
Y'all supposed to be husband and wife, fiance, and and when y'all finna get married, in a relationship, how are y'all gonna coexist as husband and wife if you can't coexist before you get married?
Wow.
Honestly, how you gonna do that? And if you don't let go baggage of that, and say, you know what, in this relationship, I'm going to change. And, you sit down and you have a polite conversation about it and say, look, I don't want to argue and fuss with you, but when we have a problem, let's sit down and talk. We're not going to yell. You're not going to yell. We're going to respect one another, and we're going to talk to one another like human beings should.
Yes.
I'm going to show. I'm going to respect you in my love for you. Can I say it like that? Yeah, in my love for you. I said I love you. I said I want to marry you. I said I'm married to you. I got a ring on your finger, a ring on mine. So that's the love.
Yeah.
Where is the love in a situation that you can't communicate with one another and make somehow get through whatever you're arguing about?
All right, we have a question. How did or do you learn to identify emotional triggers? You want to go? Okay.
Go ahead first, and I'll just add on.
Okay, how did or do you learn to identify the emotional triggers? So, first of all, we have to know ourselves and we have to know how we respond to different situations. So, as we, how we continue, if we continue to do the same thing or respond in the same way that we see that is not beneficial, then we know that something has to change. If we're getting angry on the same subject, which triggers us emotionally. We've got to learn how to overcome that very thing that we're going through and what we're struggling with, and then realize that the person that I'm with is not trying to hurt me, but they're trying to help me. So if I know a certain subject, I get mad every time they talk about this subject. Every time I have to go through this certain thing, I get angry and I get upset. I'm being triggered. So I need to know myself and be able to identify how I respond to different situations. If I know that I am responding out of character, that's an emotional trigger. If I know that responding in a way that is not becoming of me and that's not edifying my relationship, every time that happens, that's an emotional trigger. So then I learn myself, and then I learn how not to respond. Look, every time I respond like this, we go weeks without talking. I don't know. Besides, I still don't know how we can live in the same house and no talk for a couple of weeks, but it happens. I ain't talking about here. It don't happen here, but we talked to couples that it happened that they go weeks without talking and without corresponding, without touching, because they're angry and upset. But I have to know me. I have to know what makes me mad, what makes me angry, what makes me upset, and then identify what is the root of that problem, because I should not be responding this way. And once I learn myself and I learn how to deal with it, then I can relate to other people. So I'm not going to be able to relate to the one that I'm in a relationship with until I identify what makes me mad. And then guess what? I need to change my response. So the way that I responded the first time, look, I already identified it. I already know what it is. I know what I've got to do. So what I do is I identify it and then I respond in the opposite.
Right.
So look, like say we're upset, something happens, they know what pushed my buttons. Guess what? They pushed my button. And what did I do? I didn't retaliate. Hey, I'm improving. Because I would have said this, I would have went in, I would have, I'm improving. So we learn from our mistakes and we don't continue to make those mistakes, especially when they're not edifying our relationships.
Yes. One thing I want to add on to what my wife have said tonight about that is that we can't let things that are said get us angry. Sometimes those things need to be said, and on both sides, you shouldn't be afraid to talk to one another, even when it's really, really bad. That's when you really need to talk. That's when you really need to push through. Because if you can't talk through the worst thing, how you going to talk to something simple?
Yes.
See, that's what I'm saying. So what my wife just said is true. We have to get to a place where we're going to talk, but it won't be yelling. Check yourself sometime. Check yourself by yourself. Say, hey, I know we finna get into something. So when he comes home and he ready to rah at me, I'm gonna be nice and kind.
And look, stopping you because you're answering the next question. What if your spouse is triggering emotional triggers unknowingly? And you're going to respond, honey,
listen, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. Now, if you want to sit down and have a sensible conversation with me, let's do that.
Yes.
Let's sit down and talk. Let's pray about some things. If there's something bothering you that I'm triggering, that I'm saying to you, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying. I just want to talk to you about some things.
Yes.
Let's get it out. And we can't say we can't talk. Because if we don't talk, we'll never resolve whatever our situation is.
Yes.
So let's talk about it. Come on, honey. I tell you what. I'm gonna cook a nice dinner, and you sit down and we're going to talk about this thing. Yes. Just me and you.
Now you're saying that he doesn't realize he's doing this, or she doesn't realize they're doing this. So you have to tell them, baby, you know what? It really makes me mad when you do so and so and so. When you say that like that, it really makes me feel insecure. It really hurts me. It hurts my feelings. But if we keep sweeping it under the carpet and we're not identifying, look, the topic tonight is hush. It's hard for me to hush when you're digging in so deep and it hurts me. So what do? I identify the problem with you, and then we work on it together because he loves me. She loves me. So if I'm doing this unknowingly, now that I know, it's time for me to correct the wrong behavior.
Listen, on top of that, you have people in relationships and they dig to do that because they want to start an argument. Now the world tell you that when you're in a relationship, you're supposed to argue. You're supposed to get mad at each other and then make up. No, I don't believe in that. Why am I raise my blood pressure, raise her blood pressure, and we up here arguing and then now we
make up sex.
Now we doing make up sex.
Right.
That don't solve the issue. All that do, you feel good for a little while. Then what happens after that?
Yes.
Y'all back to where y'all was?
The same habits.
Well, you know what you did.
Yeah.
It was all right, but you know what you...
That's
for real.
Yeah.
And now here you go starting all over again. I thought we was over. No, we ain't over. No, we never talked about nothing.
And they continue to grow, get bigger, get larger until one day I explode or he explodes because this is something that has not been dealt with. So just because it's not currently happened doesn't mean it's not going to resurface because it was never handled. So in order for it not to happen again, I have to deal with it. You know how we say, is everything going all right now? We ain't got to talk about it. Everything's good. No, it will reoccur because that's your trigger.
So when the next thing come up, you're going to throw that in too. See, you know, that's why you didn't want to talk about the last thing we was going through.
Yes.
It's going to come up again. Whether you're married or unmarried, it's going to come up. Yes. And look, you need, before you young ladies and young men that finna get married or in a relationship and y'all thinking about marriage, think about the weakest things that have caused y'all to get mad at one another. Because getting mad in relationships should not be. You should always be able to sit down and talk to one another. Not being mad, I ain't gonna talk to him if he don't talk to me. No, Listen, it can't be that way.
Yes.
You gotta have, somebody gotta be the bigger person and say, you know what? Let's sit down and talk. I want to talk to you normal. I'm not yelling my voice. I'm not screaming at you. I'm talking to you like a normal human being.
Yes.
Because I want to show the love that I have for you. And you show me the love that you have for me. And we can't do that yelling and screaming and throwing stuff at each other.
Right.
Let's sit down and talk. So for those who are thinking about getting married, if y'all keep doing that, it's not going to change after you get married.
So you said, let's sit down and talk. Look at the next question. What happens if the person won't listen after you told him or her about what you don't like? So this is you go.
I'm going to say this. Listen, you got to hold your composure. Don't let them take you there. You got to hold your composure and say, look, we need to talk. I know you say you don't want to talk, but honey, we got to talk about this. Now, I know how you feel. I'm letting you know how I feel. But we gonna sit down and talk like this. You my husband, I'm your wife, and I can talk to you before I can talk to anybody else on the street. So we gonna sit down and talk. We got to. We got to. We can't let stuff like that linger because it hurts the relationship. It hurts the marriage. You got to be straight up with them and let them know that it's hurting the marriage, that it's hurting the relationship, that, hey, we finna get married in 2 months, and then here we go with this foolishness. Come on now. I ain't gonna go into a marriage knowing we're gonna be like this.
Oftentimes, when a woman tell her spouse or significant other that we need to talk, the man becomes negative. This response leaves a bitter taste in the woman's mouth. So we need to know when to stop communicating. And at this point, we already know that we're upset that they did not receive or respond like we would like to because it wasn't favorable for us. So at this point, I have to stop communicating. You might say, what you mean? Don't you supposed to communicate? Guess what? My next action should be to pray. If that means me grabbing his or her hand and we begin to pray, Matthew 26:41 says, watch and pray, lest you fall into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Our flesh will continue to fight. Our flesh will continue to want to be negative. Our flesh will want to get the last word. Our flesh will show up at that moment and say, wait a minute, all this I just told you, and this is all you have to say. It ain't nothing else. No, that's what my flesh should do. But guess what? When I begin to say, wait a minute, I got to realize that this warfare is not carnal, but is mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. So naturally, I'm not able to fight this. Now I have to bring out my guns. All right, now let's get with it. I got to bring out my guns. And what is more effective than the power of prayer? In the midst of arguing and fussing, I guarantee you, grab them by the hand, start praying. It'll kill all that. It'll kill it.
It'll stomp it in the ground. Especially when you start that prayer, it start breaking them yokes.
Yes.
It start calming them down.
And some may not even want to hear the prayer. And they be like, oh, wait, I want to know. You always praying. Yeah, we going to pray. And if he try to walk away, she try to walk away, walk through the house behind them, praying, destroying every stronghold, every yoke. Yes, we've got to do it. Yeah. We've got to use our spiritual authority against everything that's fighting up against us. And guess what? We fighting against our own flesh. Yeah. We're all human. We all get mad. We all get upset. We all be wanting to retaliate. Come on now. We fight against our own flesh. So what better way to fight against it is through the spirit.
But you know what? At the time of the argument, that's not happening. Because what is happening is he says something, she says something, he says something again, she says something. Now he's over talking her, she's over talking him.
But I need to know when to stop.
But I'm gonna get there. But after all of that, somebody, the God and somebody, got to say, you know what?
Yes.
We're not going to go there.
That's it.
Grab his hand, grab her hand, and say, honey, enough is enough.
Yes.
This ain't nothing but the enemy trying to start up some stuff between us and our flesh. The devil is a liar. We're going to grab hands. We're going to start praying. And we're going to cast that demon out of our house.
Yes, I like that. Hush and pray.
That's it.
Woo, that's a sermon right there.
I use that one. Hush and pray.
And I don't beat you to
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Hush.
Hush and pray.
Don't be so quick to answer.
That's it. That's it.
Because a lot of times, like the word says, when you quick to answer, it may come out wrong. It may come out wrong. You may think about what you said. Settle down. Think about what you finna say. God, give me, while he talking and rapping and raving, God, give me the words to say to my husband. Give me the words to say to my fiance.
Yes.
Show me how to say them, God. Speak it out of my mouth. Why he talking? Why he yelling? Because you know what? That's what he expects from you, to come back to something. That's
right. Because guess what? You've been emotionally triggered in the past. That would have been your normal response.
Exactly.
But now that you have matured, I saw somebody put that in the comment. Now that you have matured, you're no longer going to allow your emotional triggers to get the best of you. I'm looking for Minister Veronica post. Yes. So in summary, learn myself first. So you have to learn yourself first. Then learn the others' triggers and come to an agreement to change our response.
But on top of that, I want to piggyback on that. On top of that, when you say learning yourself, I'm going to say control yourself. Learn how to control you.
Yes.
Because you can't control what the other person says, but you can control you.
That's it.
And how you say it. And I always hear my wife say, a kind word. What? What's
Turneth away wrath.
Turneth away wrath. And if you have a kind word, while they having a mean word, it's okay.
Yes.
And sometimes, like my wife said, it's good to just listen, let him talk, let him get out his anger, whatever he got out. Now, honey, I heard what you have to say. I understand where you're coming from, but now we gotta do. My answer, you ain't gonna like it, so I'm not gonna say it right now. I think we need to pray.
Yes.
I think we need to grab hands and pray because somebody gotta be the one that can think straight,
level-headed.
Yes. Because in arguments, nobody is level-headed. Everybody, all we think about getting back at them.
Yes.
They did it to me. I'm gonna ram it on them too.
Yep.
They said that to me. I'm gonna say something to hurt them too. But it's true.
It is true.
So learn
I want you to learn like I'm hurting.
Learn yourself, but learn how to control yourself.
Yes.
And ladies and men, if you're getting ready to get married, y'all don't been angry at each other and fussing and fighting. So you can't take that into a marriage because that marriage will not last long. Where's God in all of that?
Yes.
Where is God in the God that you say you love? When you're going through a hard time, when you're going through an argument, when you're going through something in your marriage, where is God in you to say, you know what? I'm going to just hush. Let him get out. Let her get out what she got to say. And honey, you done? Okay, now I want to grab your hand and pray. Because I'm angry. I ain't telling you I'm angry, but I'm going to pray.
I'm laughing at Evangelist Kim. Open my eyes, open my ears, and shut my mouth.
Exactly.
And here's Veronica, only a fool will argue with himself.
I'm telling you, because that's who you arguing with. Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. You just arguing with you. It's like nobody in the room and you just arguing with yourself.
So here we got, who do you communicate with? Who do you communicate with, and what happens when you bring others into your relationship? Hush, we talk too much. They don't need to know all of our business. They don't know need to know what's going on in my house.
Wait up.
In my bedroom.
Wait up. Gotta tell mama, gotta tell sister, gotta tell bestie, gotta tell my dog, gotta tell my friend, gotta tell my best friend, whoever friend, whatever person. And you gotta tell them all your stuff. What's going on in your marriage? What's going on in your relationship?
Yes.
No.
Because what happens when you bring others into your relationship? You begin to take on their ideas. You feed into their opinions, and they may not even have an understanding about the entire situation. So they're just rambling on what they would do, and then we're taking it in, we're listening. Most of them ain't even in a relationship, but they have so much knowledge concerning what you're going through.
Can I say how Martin said it?
Yeah.
You ain't got no man. You ain't got no wife. You ain't got no woman. Shut up. I don't need to hear what you got to say.
Hush.
Why am I coming to you anyway? You ain't got nobody.
Absolutely.
There's so many times these women and men who ain't got nobody trying to tell you about your relationship.
Yes.
And they sitting there with nobody. Because you know what? They want you to be miserable
just
like them.
Yes. So what do you say to the person that comes to you? Oh, something ain't right. I feel like something not right with your relationship. You let them know, I care not to discuss it. I will pray about it. And if you need to, guess what? You can seek spiritual counseling.
Yes.
You can seek marriage counseling.
Yes.
You don't have to go and pour into someone that is not going to give you sound advice, that does not operate in wisdom, because we feel like, oh, I'm caring so much, I'm just going to give it to somebody. No, everybody can't handle what it is that you are carrying. And not everyone is anointed to minister to the issues that you're going through in your life to be able to cover you. So, Jesus.
Ooh, Lord.
This going to have to be another team.
Listen. I always talked about, hold on, let me do this. I always talked about, I can't take it off. I guess they don't miss.
Good, I can take mine.
Listen, the ring that you put on your finger to say I do to your wife or your husband, it's a circle. The circle can never be broken. That means who in that circle? My husband and my wife. We are the only two in that circle. Kids not in that circle. Mama not in that circle. My friends not in that circle. My sister and brother ain't in that circle.
Nope.
Uncle, auntie ain't in the circle.
Nope.
My cousin ain't in the circle.
No.
That means sure.
No.
That don't mean you get mad and run to mama house and tell him mama how bad he is. And then you go right back home. The next day y'all make up. Now mama mad at him.
Absolutely.
And looking at him funny when he walk in the house.
Yeah.
I'm about to start preaching.
I hear you. Yeah, because look, you're mad at that person, you're mad at your spouse, you're mad at your boyfriend, your girlfriend, you're mad. So you're venting to someone else. Now you change their perception of that person and they end up going against them. Now y'all done got things right. Look, they ain't even hear all the facts. Then you ain't tell them everything. All you told them was your side of the story because you was mad. And now they don't feel like y'all belong together. Because why? Of what you told them. Hush. You talk too much. Hush.
I'm going to tell you something. You talk too much and that man or that woman leave and your so-called friend going to be right there. I know everything about her. I know how to go talk to her.
Yes.
Because they wanted them anyway because they ain't got no woman.
And what they do, give you wrong advice, give you unhealthy counseling, tell you to get a divorce, tell you to leave. Oh, I wouldn't put up with that. Tell you to leave your relationship.
And then trying to get with them.
Or they even may tell other people, now look.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing.
You trusting them with personal information about your relationship, your marriage, and then they're telling somebody else. And it ain't even come from you. Things that should be confidential should be between your companion who you're with or with your spouse. Instead of telling a friend, you should tell them. Tell your spouse. Tell your one you're in a relationship with. Tell them.
It's so funny when you come to church with your husband, everybody looking at you crazy.
Because of what they heard about him.
What they done heard. Because you got somebody you done told that can't hold water.
So please never share things that you've told each other confidentially. Whatever y'all say to each other, keep it confidential.
Keep it in your bedroom.
Never share insecurities or embarrassing habits. Never share things that, were in the past, that from past relationships and how you resolved it and moved on. Never share. Even if that person has been unfaithful to you, you don't share it with no one.
Yeah.
Because you're now in a broken place that you need to be healed. And those that the only one need to be pouring into you is God. And God is the only one that can give you the direction regarding your marriage, your relationship.
One thing I hear people say all the time, some people have said, oh, the Lord told me to go ahead and leave my husband and leave my wife. I'm going to tell you this. I don't care how much you say that. That's not what God wants you to do. God honors marriage. He honors it. He don't want you to leave. But if there's no reconcile, if there's no way that you can't talk to him and he can't talk to you. Y'all not. You get to a point where y'all not even sleeping in the same bed no more. And it's been like, man, it's been over a year. Something wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you fix that? Some kind of way you need to find a way to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't fix it, me and my wife, we never agree on divorce, but we know divorce does happen in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
We know it happens, but we will never ever tell anybody to get a divorce and just leave her or leave him. Mm-hmm. No, we're not going to do that, because in all hopes, God wants us to find a way to make it work.
And only God can release you if that's the will of God.
If that's His will. If that's His will. Mm-hmm. But the Bible says He honors marriage.
He honors marriage, and the bed is undefiled.
And the bed is undefiled. So you have to find a way. Why when something hurt us, we always ready to run, get a divorce, mm-hmm. and leave it. Leave it.
Because we feel that it hurts too bad to try to fix it. But guess what? That same pain you'll carry with you once you leave. Mm-hmm. And it's going to still be there. The same pain is going to be there. The same hurt is going to be there. Look at this question. How often should you forgive one another for the same things?
70 times 70.
Times 7.
Times 7. 70 times 7. That's my answer.
Matthew 18:15 says, if your brother sins against you, you go and tell him what he did without other people hearing it.
Just you and him.
Yes. If he listens to you, you've won your brother back again to Christ. So, we can't say how many times to forgive that person. We know the scripture says 70 times 7 for the same thing. 70 times 7.
Yeah.
Look how many times Jesus forgave us for the same thing. Even now, forgiving us daily. So, if you choose, that God has brought you together, if it's your marriage or relationship and God has brought you together, it's the same God that can change the heart of that person.
Yes.
And can change things around in your relationship.
Yes,
so even if you were offended or something happened and you were hurt, you will have to heal from that past hurt, and they will have to allow you to be able to heal. They will have to allow you to be able to recover from whatever damage that was caused in the relationship. So, yes, everything we take to God in prayer, and all things by fasting and praying. And we know that God can deliver. And don't let anybody tell you, oh, they did this so many times, the same thing over and over and over and over. You the one would have to live with whatever decision is made, whether if it's for you to reconcile or you to depart. You have to live with that decision. So even to the fact of, do you feel you can live without them? Do you feel you can live seeing them with someone else? Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to go into another relationship. So all of these things should be accounted for before we make hasty decisions.
I want to just add on to what my wife said. Relationships we know are difficult, and we know a lot of times people can say a lot of things to you and tell you what to do and how to do it. Mm-hmm. But like I said, learn yourself, understand you, mm-hmm. understand your husband, understand your wife, learn what she likes, learn what makes her angry, mm-hmm. learn what triggers her, yes. learn what bothers her. Mm-hmm. If it's something you did, and it's really bad, mm-hmm. even if you was cheating, both ways, keep saying I'm sorry until they are ready to say, you know what, I'm over it. Let's move on. Mm-hmm. Let's move forward. Or if they even tell you, look, I can't do this. I don't want to do this anymore. You got to find a way and say, can we do something first? Can we just pray about it and fast about it? Mm-hmm. And let's come together and see, ask God to get us back together, mm-hmm. to give us the strength to make it through this.
Yes.
We got to find whatever it is that really helps the other person. Learn yourself, then learn the other person.
Yes.
And if you're not married, do that now before you get into a marriage. Really learn them. Have patience with them. show them the love that they want and they need, and what they need, even when they don't want you to show love, you show it anyway.
Yes, yes. We're going to close with James 3. This is verses 13 through 18. I want to read it to you. This is from the Message Bible. Live well and live lively. Mm-hmm. Do you want to be counted wise, to build a reputation for wisdom? Here's what you do. Live well, live wisely, live humbly. It's the way you live, not the way you talk, that counts.
My God.
Mean-spirited ambition isn't wisdom. Boasting that you are wise isn't wisdom. Twisting the truth to make yourself sound wise isn't wisdom. It's the furthest thing from wisdom. It's animal cunning, devilish conniving. Whenever you're trying to look better than others or get the better of others, things fall apart and everyone ends up at the other's throats. Real wisdom, God's wisdoms, begins with a holy life and is characterized by getting along with others. It is gentle and reasonable, overflowing with mercy and blessings. Not hot one day and cold the next, not two-faced. You can develop a healthy, robust community that lives right with God and enjoy its results only if you do the hard work of getting along with each other, treating each other with dignity and honor. Ooh. And that's the icing on the cake.
Can I just say that? I like that last part where it says dealing with each other.
Yes.
And working with each other.
Yes.
Everybody know, and everybody have said many years, marriage is hard, you know, but it's hard, but it's hard work when you can do it together. Yes. It comes easier when you can do it together. When you can't do it together, that's when it becomes hard. Yes. But if you guys are working together, man, ain't nothing can stop you.
All right.
Nothing can hold you back.
Amen.
And then when you also got God in the midst of all of that,
yes.
My God, you got a mega team now. You, your wife, and God. Now you could, there's nothing you can't do.
A force to be reckoned with.
It's a force to be reckoned with. Only one running for his life is the enemy.
All right now.
Only one running for his life is the enemy, because he knows together I can't beat him. Yes. But if I could separate them, think about it, how he did Adam and Eve. He separated them. Even though Adam was standing right there, he separated them. And just talked to the woman.
Yes.
Don't let him separate you. Stay together. Bond them hands together and pray.
Amen.
Like you ain't never prayed before.
Amen.
Fight the wiles of the devil.
Yes.
Hallelujah. I'm done.
Amen. If you enjoyed this broadcast and think it will help others in their relationships, please don't forget to like, love, and share this broadcast. Share it to your page so others can be blessed. We enjoyed you all so much. Thank you for your cooperation, your questions. Thank you for your comments.
Follow us on YouTube.
Yes, please.
Subscribe.
Make sure you follow us and subscribe to our Facebook.
Woo.
We have a group as well, Unified Love Couples Ministry. We have YouTube.
Woo.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Yes. And we have our website.
Woo, woo.
UnifiedLoveCouplesMinistry.org. So please make sure, and you'll be notified. If you subscribe, you'll be notified the next time that we go live. If you have a topic that you want us to discuss, please make sure that you shoot us an email, unifiedloveministry@gmail.com,
yes.
Or you can message us. If you need personal counseling, you can contact us, 833-TRU-LOVE. And we are also available for conferences, book signings, and our private couple sessions. And you can book that through our website. Don't forget, we do have The Love Cure for Relationships and Marriage. Our book is available on Amazon, the ebook and the actual book. And if you want to purchase the ebook as well, on our website. And a lot of the things that we covered tonight, go ahead.
I'm just going to say this. A lot of people say, oh, they put their heart and their soul into whatever they wrote. But I'm going to say this. We put our God, our Lord, our Savior into this book, because we really wanted to. I mean, we poured out a lot in this book to help marriages, to help if you're going through abuse, to help if you're going through your husband or your wife done cheated on you. We put it all here. And a lot of books don't have it like that. But this book does. So share it with your friends. Tell them to get this book. Send them to Amazon. Tell them, what's the other one you said?
Our website also, if they want to purchase
it.
If
they want to purchase it. Ebook. You need to get this book and really pay attention.
The Love Cure.
The Love Cure for relationships and marriage. Because while you reading it, you might find something that you and your spouse going through.
Even if you're single, there's something in there for single women. The book. Who to look for, who to search for, and how to connect to your soulmate.
Hey man, there's something in here for you to look for.
Yes.
Help you find a woman, a real woman of God.
Thank you so much for joining. We love you all tonight. And remember, we're here every other Wednesday. So we're not here next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, we will be here. Look out for us. Like our pages, and you'll be notified when we go live. Good night.
Good night.
God bless you.